ano, tayo po mayroon po tayong I think Chairman Biazon will elaborate on this, no? Bigay ko na lang sa kanya yung speed limiter, no? I will now recognize Honorable Biazon for your interpellation, please. Sa mga bus company.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, it's not just addressed to the bus companies and other public utility vehicles, but also to the LTO, LTFRB, because they're part of the implementation of RA 10916 or the speed limiter law. So gusto lang natin pong maalaman anong pong update on the compliance to this law that was passed by Congress.
Kindly respond, please, LTFRB, on the speed limiter issue.
May we, Mr. Chair, good morning, and good morning to the members of the committee as well as the
Chairman Delgra, I think, yes, from
may
LTFRB.
May we defer the question to LTO, Ase Calvante?
Ase Calvante, you're recognized, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Ase Calvante, please. Andiyan ba si Ase Galvante? Andiyan siya kanina. Comsec, do you have Ase Galvante?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah,
morning,
good morning. There was a question raised by... Okay.
As part of LTO's function is to check the roadworthiness of the vehicle, and included therein, given this new law, the requirement for the buses particularly to have installed in them speed limiter. And while I would admit that we have no expertise yet on determining the accuracy of the speed limiter installed, we are checking on whether the bus that should pass the inspection should have in it installed the speed limiter, Mr. Chairman.
So
that's part of the inspection.
So, Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir.
The law was passed in 2016 and it is already 2020. So, hindi na natin masabi na it's a new law, no? 4 years have passed and actually the law provided for an IRR within 6 months after the passage of the law. So dapat by this time, ang implementation na natin, ano na talaga? Well, we should be well into the implementation of the law. So is the LTO saying that we have not implemented this law properly yet?
It's not that we're not implementing, Mr. Chairman. What I'm saying is that, for example, medyo natagalan po, aminin namin na medyo natagalan because of the different models and specification. And in consultation with DTI, hinanap po natin kung ano magiging batayan para sabihin. In fact, even the calibration of the speed limiter. Because, for example, nung wala po itong COVID, yung mga buses po na pumapasok sa Metro Manila, ang speed limit po yatang itinaning nun is about 60. But when they go out of Metro Manila, 80. Kaya isa po sa mga discussion dito is saan po ang speed set yung speed limiter, kung sa 80 ba o sa 60. But anyway, ang point po dito is yung speed limiter na may install ay yung reliable na hindi matitinker around ng bus driver or whoever. No? But again, the requirement is that when they get inspected, particularly itong mga buses that are being used for passenger carrier, sinecheck po na may naka-install na speed limiter.
So ang sinecheck lang po natin is kung may naka-install or not, but not really able to determine kung functioning effectively. Ganon ho ba yun? Because Section 5 of the law says no speed limiter, no registration. no vehicle shall be registered by the LTO or given a franchise by the LTFRB. Dalawa pa yun. Without the standard speed limiter installed.
Yes, Your Honor. Tinitignan po na may naka-install at tinetest while they're stationary. No? Hindi yung actually parang may trial run at ina-obserbahan yung functioning ng speed limiter. Kumbaga, sa facility ng LTO, sa motor vehicle inspection, yung po ang tinitignan.
Mr. Chair, medyo worrisome yung situation kung gano'n, no? Kasi we have this law but it is not being properly implemented. We are expecting na pinasa yung batas para nga maiwasan yung overspeeding ng mga public utility vehicles and other vehicles. And this is just a big concern, Mr. Chairman. I think moving forward, there should be something done to compel the LTO or the other agencies to properly implement this law. Kung may technical difficulty, actually yung technical difficulty should be easy to resolve, no? Kasi technical lang naman 'yon. Kung policy concern, I think this should be really addressed. Mr. Chair, if I just may move to another resource person in connection to this.
Please, go on.
To the MMDA, yung mga accident na nalista dyan, may determination na ba if it was due to speeding by the bus or by the vehicles? And ano ba ang nakikita natin na dahilan? A more specific determination aside from just saying na it is a self-accident.
Okay.
GM Jojo.
Mr. Chair, good afternoon, Congressman Ruffy. Yung sa bus, no, yung 6 na aksidente, more po sila ng overspeeding. No? Kahit na wala, let's say, ang dinidebate nila, wala kaming pangkuha ng speed. Pero nung binak-view po namin sa CCTV, no, makikita naman natin yan from point A to point B, gaano kalayo yan at ilang segundo niya tinravel. Yung bus po na sumabit dyan, ang takbo po is 79 kilometers per hour. So, more than po sa speed limit na 50. Yung mga nabangga pong iba naman na mga private vehicle, and meron po tayong isang fatality dyan na biker, nakainom po, no? Amoy alak po. At kadalasan po ang sinasabi is hindi napansin dahil may ka-text or nagsa-cellphone po.
Okay, so definitely kung properly implemented yung speed limiter law, would you say na yung accident na yon or yung crash na yon could have been prevented?
Definitely, Congressman. No? Sabi ko nga, we have more than 25,000 trips already. No? Yung 24,994, hindi naman po na aksidente, hindi po sumabit, kasi sumusunod sa tamang speed limit. So isolated case po yan. Sabi ko nga, yung barrier, hindi po gumagalaw yan, nandyan lang yan. Usually po, no, kadalasan na na-aksidente niyan, nadidistract po sila. Kasi kung kayo po nagmamaneho sumusunod sa tamang batas, nakakonsentrate po kayo, hindi po kayo talaga ma-aksidente dyan. Of course, no, may mga konti pa rin pagkukulang. Hindi po talagang malinaw yung ibang signages, yung mga early warning device, yung iba medyo malabo na. Pero definitely po, no, we will improve on that. Pero kung sumusunod lang po tayo sa batas trapiko at hindi po tayo umiinom habang nagmamaneho, imposible po talaga magkaroon ng malaking aksidente dyan.
Thank you, Sir Jojo. With the permission of the chair, may I direct my question to the LTFRB?
Yes, please. Before we recognize Congressman Crisaldo. Yes, go on, Congressman.
It's been shown that in the law, LTFRB has a function in this with regard to giving the franchise to the bus companies. May I know how many or what percentage of bus companies are compliant to what is prescribed in the law, and how many have been registered without being compliant?
Mr. Chair.
You're recognized, Chairman Belger, please.
My apologies to Congressman Biazon as to the numbers, that the data, but we will provide as to the numbers, sir. Insofar as the implementation of the law is concerned, reason why I have to respectfully defer the question to the LTO because they're the ones determining the standard for the speed limiter. So we will submit on that one, sir. I have to admit that I come prepared for that question. I will get back to
Okay.
you by tomorrow.
And if there are bus companies operating without speed limiters, what is LTFRB supposed to do?
We will have to summon them because this is a law that has to be implemented and therefore they have to comply.
Well, it says in the law that these companies should not be issued franchises if they are not compliant. So if they are not compliant, what is LTFRB supposed to do?
Yes, sir. That's a reason why I said earlier that we will have to summon them for them to be compliant with the law. I understand from the earlier discussion, and in fact, even much earlier, that there was still an issue about the device that has to be used. There was, if I may, interrelatedly, although not directly answering that question, Your Honor. Yesterday, the LTFRB heard one case involving one of these three road crash involving the buses along the dedicated lane. And I did ask the operator involved if they have GPS or speed limiter. And the concern of the operator was that they will be taking, because their garage is somewhere in Bulacan, and when they take NLEX, the speed limit there maximum is 80. But once they get into EDSA, the maximum speed limit is 50. So the issue that he raised actually is the issue of the device that will have to be used that will be conforming to the speed limit to the road network where these buses may pass. Ang ibig ko po sabihin, there is no fixed speed limit in all road networks. I think that was the issue raised by Asik Galvante as to the type of device that will conform or adapt to the road that would allow different maximum speed limits po.
Okay. Well, in the interest of time, to give way to my colleagues, just to wrap up, Mr. Chairman, it seems that government has not been taking seriously what the law prescribed. 4 years since it's been passed, and based on the explanations given by the officials concerned, I would say it's really not an excuse, because it's basically the reason there is lack of attention in complying with the law. So we see the government itself not being able to comply with what is prescribed by the law, and therefore the bus companies themselves wouldn't care, because they see that even government is dragging its feet on this matter. So may we just really urge these agencies to expedite the resolution of those blockages for us to completely implement this law, because as we let this go on, kita po natin, aksidente nangyayari. It may be a small percentage, but if it costs one life, that's one life too many. So, Mr. Chairman, I give way to my colleagues for their questions, and just ask questions later.
Thank you so much, Congress, this for the very important point. I'll get back to you after, if ever.